This is EWM Train documentation, January 18th, 2015. I'm going to start in the wire class. This is where the power comes into the train board. This switch right here is the main power switch. So this turns off power to the entire board, everything except for that which is on battery power. If we come out, power comes into the train board underneath. One sec to get into position. So power comes in through this black wire right here. Black power wire. If we follow it, goes all the way down to here, etc., etc. I'm going to do the rest of the bottom in just a bit. So for now, I'm going to do the top. Just how everything works and what everything does. Okay, starting up over here. This button right now just controls this. Spinning beacon, and then the whistle is on the bottom. That button's for the whistle, as noted right here is the whistle. The whistle can sometimes get annoying, so we have down here an on-off switch that will disable the whistle. As you can see, no noise. Turn it back on. That will work. So that's this column right here is the fountain. The fountain plugs in via AC power. A little hard to see, I'll come back to in a little bit, but that just plugs into constant AC power and is not turned off. Coming down the side, we have these semaphore lights right here, the second one here and the third one on the other side over there. These are controlled by this, pardon the train. So these three semaphores are all controlled by the same control right here. So when the train comes by, that will switch to red, they all switch to red, and then they'll switch back to green. Now, due to some design discrepancies, these all need to be the same type of light. If you look on the bottom, they all have this resistor. That's the thing in the paper column. And the resistor ensures that essentially all of them have to be the same resistor value. If not, some light will bleed through the other semaphores into the others and they won't work. Also, the voltage is a little too high currently on this circuit, so the resistors get very, very hot and effectively burn the paper. That would be what we're worried about afterwards. So that's the semaphores. Moving down, we have this button. This controls the talking radio, which is down here. For some reason, it sometimes works, sometimes doesn't work. You have to press it a couple of times. Have not found an issue with that, but there's some audio circuit down below, which I do not know how exactly that works. The button just goes into the play button on that. The cow station down here. This is the button for it. Cow station is down here. It vibrates that cow station, and the cows move around. Very simple circuit. Moving down, here's the circus. The circus comes in as one piece. The circus has some mechanical issues. If I press the circus button, press and hold, it will turn on. Should start to spin. You can see things happening in here. The tiger's supposed to spin, it's currently not working. I'm going to take a look underneath, but it's all sort of hidden by the support circuitry for the circus. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. I'll take a look at that now, though. Talking station. Similar to the talking radio over here. Press the button, this turns on. This one does not have quite as many issues as the other button down there. We have three buttons here: coal loader, smoking engine, and the mine elevator. Coal loader is this crane thing right here. It is currently not working. I'll show the circuit in just a bit. The idea is that this wire this string pulls the crane arm up and down, and then it slides along right here. I could not figure out how to hook up the mechanical sides of things. Dan Baker had helped me with it this year, so Dan Baker might be able to help you with it next year. He might have an idea. Smoking engine, it just powers this track right here, turns on the smoking engine. That's it. The mine elevator, I will also show the mechanics down below in just a bit. That controls this right here, and then I don't know what happened to the car, but the car comes up and down. Here it comes. The car is powered by a battery to make the light flash, so those will probably have to be changed. So that's that. Okay, on this center column, a bunch of buttons. The first two for Dave, the lamplighter. So this one, he goes up, this one goes down. At the top, the light will turn on. The crane arm, so actually make sure that we have a sign right here, do not hold this button because this is electromagnetic, so if you hold it you'll short out. Over here, crane arm, that just controls the motor. I'll show that in a bit. That one is a bit finicky on the placement of the ramp. As you can see, it's starting to get a bit off. So possibly that should be changed for next year into either a one-piece assembly. The one below it is the electromagnetic arm on the crane, so it picks things up. Again, this one should not be just held down unless the electromagnet is actually being used in fear of shorting out. Last two, smoking engine that powers this track. Looks like right now that black engine is currently off track, but it should open the Happy New Year sign and the red train and power the guy on the orange train. The red one seems to sometimes not get proper electricity, proper contact between the wheels and the solenoid that opens the door, so that might be something to look at. Bottom one's boy flying plane. Right here, it's very simple, that's just plugged in and goes there. This beacon right here is also powered in the same circuit as the...
Six. Button 6 is the
button
boy
6,
flying
yeah.
the
So
kite.
the bottom button powers
button.
the plane as previously mentioned, as well as this beacon, which will be the same thing as the beacon down there. Here we have the train column. All four of them should be pretty much identical. So I'm going to do the purple one. The button right here will turn on that light right there. So those lights at each track, there's a green one right there, orange one down there, a red one somewhere along top of the floor, and then the purple one right here, this red one over there. That should be hooked up. Simple potentiometer right here to control the train speed. Looking in the back right here, this one is screwed in. In the back we just have the potentiometer hooked up to a spring to power the train. So that we'll take a look at it in a little bit. The button down here, all of the wiring for the lights and such. Thank you. Two more things. The boat is powered by a set of batteries. Take a look at that. And also the crane electromagnet, just so it doesn't hog all of the power, that's also powered by a set of batteries. Okay, so now we start taking a look at the main transformer section in center column. So I said this black wire right here is the main power. This comes up if we follow it to right here, and that comes down through here, and that's the main power on this train column. So coming out through here, and so we have the main power coming in through here, this gray wire, that goes to constant 10 amps, constant, that will never be switched over. So if you do need to plug something in, plug it in there, that will always be powered. That comes into this mess through here. This switch right here controls the main power, so if I turn that off, that will disable almost everything, the accessories tracks 1 and 3. Tracks 2 and 4 on this switch here. Those probably shouldn't never be on or off at different times. They should either, as now, be all on or all off. Here are the lights. The AC light, I'm being careful, I don't want to get electrocuted, but that one occasionally falls out. That shows that AC is on. You can see right here. This one, I have no idea what this one is. It looks like it's hooked up. Actually, it looks like it's not even hooked up to anything. So you ignore this green one. 24 volts, 12 volts, and 6 volts. These LEDs come in from these transformer blocks over here. If these lights are not on, that means we do not have power on those voltages, which are all needed to power parts of the train board. Once the power switcher comes in, you can see these wires back here, this one and this one. On the back, we'll take a look at it in just a bit. There's some more switch power outlets in the back. Then this comes into these switch blocks. So stuff that's plugged in. We have the transceiver for the remote control system. That's plugged in. This is like the controller. I don't know which of these needs to be plugged in. I believe this one is the main thing that needs to be plugged in, and then this one doesn't actually do anything besides having manual control. So possibly don't worry about too much about this one. From there, here's the controller. We can turn off individual tracks. When you turn off a track, the light will turn off on that track. If it's not working, it could be it's a radio issue, just keep pressing it, or try coming down here to the manual control. This black cord is going to the controller for the HO trolley. HO trolley we'll take a look at in just a bit. That is on an automatic circuit underneath the board, which will have a drive force at the end of each track is a diode. I'll take a look at that in just a bit, which prevents the trolley from going all the way until the polarity of the voltage changes on that track. So that transformer is down here. You can, of course, change the power, the speed of the trolley down here on this transformer. Next block right here, we have this outlet, this one, which goes, I'm following this wire, That goes right here. This is 18 AC supply. I believe this powers most, if not all, of the accessories. Or not all of them, but a fair number of them. If you do need to adjust, you can adjust the power for those here. Though be careful, because so many things are hooked up, you could run into a situation where you turn the power on it to make one thing work, but some other things do not work or break because of that increased power. Coming out of the switch power supply right here, we have these two wires. These are the main the main other accessory wires. I'm gonna look at the top one first. That goes into this transformer. This is a 6.3 to 6.3 volt transformer. So this will be the 12 volt transformer right here. So I believe we take one side of it to make 6 volts. These black squares right here are bridge rectifiers. So we have the AC 12 volts coming in. It's being rectified and sent up through these capacitors for smoothing. So we have approximately, these are capacitors all right here. We have approximately, what is this? 6 volts. Yeah, 6 volts, 12 volts, 18 AC. No, we have 6, 12, and 24 DC. And also, if you need it, I believe you can get AC from somewhere, though don't worry about that too much. These just transformer is 18 AC. We'll take a look at that in a bit. Fuses here, extra fuses are down here if you need them, but these shouldn't break unless something else, unless there's an issue somewhere. Bottom right here, this is the 12 volt transformer. This provides us with 24 volts of power. I believe we actually get the single-sided 12 volt off of here as well. So it just comes in 120 volts and comes out to here. 24 volts are rectified and up to here. These 3 lights are on, 1, 2, 3. These 3 lights are on, 1, 2, 3. That tells us that we have good 6 volts, 12 volts, and 24 volts DC. That goes out to here. These wires are the accessory power wires, and we'll take a look at the back. So on the trolley supply, we have AC power coming in as normal right there, and then over here we have variable DC in the trolley coming out. Make sure these don't touch. This is a common source of problems on the transformers, that the 2 output wires are touching. Of course, right now it's not an issue, but it could be very well an issue. On this output, same deal. We have power coming in, and we have the variable AC though. This one's transformer is a bit different. So we have the variable AC coming out for there. That's going up to your 18 volts AC wires through here, and that just comes right back here. So this transformer does not ever interact with all of this stuff, besides just hijacking part of the ribbon wire to be used there. So just to confirm, the trolley is DC. The accessories are AC that are hooked up to here. The DC accessories are up there. This is just an extra pack. Coming down underneath, we have these 2 switch power supplies right here. The orange goes down all the way down there. That I believe is hooked up to the waterfall, so that can be plugged into switched. This wire right here goes and powers the circuit. This is this one right here. The black right there goes, so the black and the white right here go to these extension cords. These are again hooked up then to the trains themselves. So these things actually control. These are the actual radio relays, while the controller is on the other side. These should be plugged in, of course, within range. Now we come out here. The accessories right here is what we discussed, and then that goes to this mess. The main thing is trying to get things that hook up. I believe they are labeled, like this one's accessory section B, accessory section B. To hook up the train transformers, we have these gray wires. These go up to the, let me find one. So this gray wire will come in. Going into the transformer, you have these broken out connectors. This one power cord, that of course goes to power, which is switch over there. You'll have this set of wires. The set of wires goes into the mess of wires down here, which then goes to the track sections. So track sections, this is, what's the track section here? Track sections down here, track sections, and these gray wires go up to the control panels. So if we follow one, I'm going to look at this track section. This will just go right straight up into the controller. These wires coming down, these power the supply lights, the status lights. So on each control panel for the train, you will see a gray wire coming in. That gets plugged into the back of the transformer over there, and then the yellow wire will get plugged into its corresponding status light. That's switched through the button. That is it for the tracks. Plugging it into the tracks, everything is not very well labeled. I'm gonna take some pictures and document it, but there's a limit to how much I can do in this mess. The best I can say is just follow the wires around the board. Like if we look right here, here's like a track section hooked up, I believe. So if you just follow these wires back, you'll see they come, oh, surprise, to there. That shouldn't be too difficult to hook up. If you can get one section working, all the sections are connected up to each other, so that should not be an issue. Accessories. That's these three ribbon cables, which then goes to these three ribbon cables, and then that disperses all around the board. What I'll say is figure out what colors go to which voltages on the other side of the board, and then when you come to an accessory, you should be able to figure out what color it is based on what voltage is based on that. I'm going to go around and go to all of them just so we can see. I'm starting all the way down in the corner to look at the bottom electrical. Let me fix this. That's not right. Okay, so as mentioned before, this is the wire for the waterfall. This orange. You have power coming in for the controller. This right here is a co-loader. Power coming in through here, and then that all goes back up. This is for the control, and then the power itself comes in from there. This right here is this is the mine. This is the co-loader. This would spin around. The wire comes in through here. I do not know how this should be hooked up. Something goes onto here on the end, but the exact tying off up there is tricky. If you can figure it out next year, that would be great. If not, for the mine elevator, the chain comes in through here, loops around here, and then gets tied off. I have it clamped, but you can tie it off there. We've had issues with this part, with it getting off its axis, so make sure that it's on and screwed in right here. There, so we can see the spinning. It's just not hooked up to anything and just not doing anything. Take a look at the power for that. I believe these are both probably 18 AC. So this one might be 24 AC. I think this is 24. Can't check right now. Over here we have the other side. This is right underneath the waterfall. We have the whistle. The whistle wire is this purple and gray one. This goes into the switch and it goes out to there. That's for the whistle from the switch. I believe this other one right here controls the beacon. Or actually, no, sorry. This would be the beacon right here. I don't know where this one goes to. Some of these might not be hooked up. Actually, this is probably input power is coming in from here. The control circuitry goes up into there. This is the switch breaks the circuit. This wire is the whistle. This wire breaks the circuit before the whistle. The whistle then comes up through here, and then that goes up to whistle goes up into here. This is, I believe, one of the semaphores. So all these semaphores are just hooked up together. Watch your head for nails. There's the other semaphores in the control circuitry for the detector. You can see these are all hooked up. It should be pretty self-explanatory with the coloring and the sizing. This one goes off to the, I think to main power, or is this to main power? This one goes to the other semaphore. This one's for main power. This one is for main power here. Bring on some more. This is all the control stuff for the radio card. This is the radio card circuitry right here. The button actually just hooks up to the play button on the circuit board. When things aren't working, it's probably something around here. We've gotten some crazy stuff out of this. I do not know what issues it has. When it works, it works. Power again from there, it's coming from this same ribbon cable we saw before. Here you can see some track power. So again, it just comes up, and then we say, okay, we know where this needs to go. So follow this wire back to the track power. Circus is right here. Circus is powered by AC independently. Is switched. Everything is switched by the circus wire coming in from right here. Circus button. I cannot explain much how it works. Besides, there's some fancy circuitry and electromechanics powering things. These are transformers for that. Now the issue with the Tiger, for example, is probably something up here. And from my vantage point here, I can't really do much. Everything is sort of blocked from my view. When it's going in next to you, you might be able to fix some things before it goes in, before it's clouded out. All right here. Here, this is the talking station, same idea as the radio car. The play button is controlled by the button up there. Power coming in, the button switch coming in from there, power coming in from here. Accessory power, looks like this one is on 12 volts and 12 volts, I believe. Yep. And then that green wire, so that's got 20 things. This is at the end of the table. This, yep, that's it. This is the beacon right here. This is also powered, remember, by the airplane. So that power comes in through here, up around here, and to this mess right there. Power coming in from here. The buttons coming in from down there, I believe. This is a bit of a pain to hook up. We'll get some pictures of it. This right here is a crane arm. So this is a motor that spins, and then this is hooked up over here on this linkage. Make sure that this is screwed in tight enough, or else it will eventually unscrew itself and fall down. That won't be good. This just mounts where the 2 and the 1 are to this board. And again, here's the batteries that power the electromagnet. What else? Okay, so this is gate comes in through here. Buttons, some more buttons. A bunch of powers coming in there, and then these are some other extra accessories. I believe the smoking engine could be around here. There's just one final thing I forgot to mention before. I'm all the way down at the end of the board. This is the boat. The motor screws in up here. You can see there's 2 magnets on top of it. Spins around constantly, just goes constant power from these batteries. This battery holder and the electromagnet down there are power on the same thing. It's I believe 4 or 5 D batteries, and supposedly those work the entire time. You might need to change them over the course of the training exhibit.